Okay, this is just a very quick video to show you how you can make a duplicate or if you're going to make changes to a design. So I'm going to go on this training one that I've got here, and all I'm going to do is at the top you'll see that we've got the different folders. So I've got this folder is obviously to open the design. This one next to it is to duplicate a design if I want to do it that way. The next one is export, so I can export a file and I can send it to another customer or another person that's got Promob, and they'll be able to open the design, make changes and send it back to me if I want to do it that way. And the next one is create a new option. Now this is where it comes in really handy. So I'm going to click on create new option. So let's say I've been to the client and the client says they don't like the positioning of where the fridge is. So what I can do here is, and you'll see I've already got a few that I've done change fridge, new island on this particular job. So I'm going to actually show you how I created that. So over here, let's just say I want to put in new sink and color. Okay, based on the last one that I did. I'm going to say set as active and I'm going to say OK. And what it's going to do now is it's going to have changed. It's going to give me another one, and it's got the green tick next to it because this is now going to be my active one that I'm going to work on. So it's an exact copy of this new island one that I've got here, but now I can make changes to this without affecting the last one that I did. So you'll see over here now it will say new sink and color. So now it's going to use this that I've created. So when I go into here and if I go back, it's going to still look exactly the same, but I'm now going to be using a new version that I can change. On this side where I've got information, it's going to have the name of the file, which is new training 1. I can then tell it what the progress of that particular job is. If I have it in progress, or if I've lost it, suspended, converted, dismissed, and finished the job. So I can actually put that information in. I can also tell it whereabouts it is. Is it a design? Is it at presentation? Is it at budget? Are we waiting for documentation? Are we waiting for a contract? Has the order been done? Has it been delivered? So I can use this to keep track of all my jobs that I'm doing. Okay, so it's just as easy as that. I can also tell it what the space is, so I can interchange there as well. I can put closing dates, I can put information in on when I'm going to have the job done and so on. I can put some information here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this job, and it's basically a direct copy of the one that I'm working on at the moment, but now I can make changes. So once it opens, I can now go in and I can make changes and save, and it's going to save it to the new name, new sink and color, which is not going to affect the other job. So if the customer then comes back and goes, oh, actually I don't like that color, or I want to change the sink back or whatever like that, they want to go back to the original design, you can just go back to that design without having to go back in and changing everything. So you see now what it's doing is it's just loading in all the files. Okay, so it's got everything loaded in. So let's say for instance I want to change the color. I'm going to go up to my tools at the side here. Let's lock that in, so I've got it there easier to work with. I'm going to click on the cupboard like that, just so I've got it. And under my models, I can now go in and change the colors that I want to change. So let's just say, for instance, where I've got this over here and I've got this blue, I'm going to click on that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to just make it a PG Bison. Unfortunately, I've got my other screen online, so you're not going to see what I'm doing. I'm just going to change it to, I'm just going to make it to an obvious color so you're going to be able to see the difference. Let me go for, I'm just thinking, Let's use Vardu from PG Bison, and if I click on that, it's going to now update all those same panels to Vardu. Okay. Obviously, if I want my doors and things like that changed, I'll come down here to where I've got my doors, and you'll see that my doors have got information here, but as you go down, you'll see that it's actually got a color. So if I click on that, and I'm going to go to PG Bison, and now I'm going to go to the same one, Vardu, you'll see that it starts changing certain areas, and this particular shaker groove door, I want to change that. So the idea is I can go in and I can change multiple areas. So now that I'm on there, let's go in. I'm going to go and do the same thing. And it's going to update the whole kitchen for me. So once I've done that, if I save, and I go back here and I say save, and it's saved, I can go back, connect, I'm going back to my main page. If I go back now and I start using it, it's going to have those new colors. So it's going to make it really easy, it's just busy updating it. When I go back in, it'll now have that color that I've changed it to, that I can then send through to the client. And you'll see it's automatically, as soon as it's updated to the cloud, it's automatically updated my preview image here as well. But I could go back, and I can go back to one of the others. So if I want to go back to, for instance, this one, I can click here. It's still open, so it doesn't allow you to change it while the project is still open. So usually what I do is I'll go into a different project. This is a loft that I created. And if you go back to information, there's my loft, I can see it there. If I open the loft, it's now shut and closed the previous job. So it's going to open up the loft, and the loft has got a nice spiral staircase that I worked on. There we go, it's just loading in. Okay, so there's the loft that I was working on. So if I come out of this, I can say save. Okay, if I come back down here, and I go back to my one that we were working on, but now I want to go back and I want to use the new island as my master, I can click on that. I can tell that now is my master. You'll see here it says over here, new island. There it is there. And if I open it, it'll open and it'll be back to the one that I had previously. So I can move between different designs, different colors, different things that the client has asked for without having to go in and redraw everything and reposition everything. There we are, we're back to the one that we were originally working on. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight on how you can do changes to your design without actually affecting the design, because 9 times out of 10 the customer will say to you, change this, change that, and then you do the changes and then they go, oh, I actually prefer the first one or the previous one. You can just literally go straight back to the previous one without having to reset everything and redo everything. So I hope that's given you a little bit more of an insight to what you can do by changing your colors under a duplicate copy of the kitchen, but making it easy to switch between them.